Hi, welcome back. I'm Kathy, and this is Juan Carlos. So nice to have you, Juan Carlos.
Thank you, my dear teacher.
He's my student, and we'll be practicing today to go deeper into some inversions, creating some arm strength, the right actions with the arms and the hips and the shoulders and the legs. All right, so everything you've been practicing up till now is helping you to get into this strong action of lifting the legs, including your standing poses. So if you haven't been practicing your standing poses, you can go back and do that. All right. Have you been practicing your standing pose?
Every day.
Every day, okay. All right, and we'll show different versions, all right? So from more beginner, in each pose, we'll be doing Adho Mukha Vrksasana, we'll be doing Sirsasana, we'll be doing a few poses, Pincha Mayurasana. And in those poses, we will kind of step you through the different fundamentals and the different props as we go. Okay, we're using 2 ropes, which are from the wall. And this is more for people that will be helping you if you have someone help you. We're using this to show the right direction. So you don't have to do this, but you can imagine when we get to the ropes that you're having someone pull you up with ropes. Here's a strap, 2 blankets, 2 blocks, and we're going to be using 2 chairs today. Okay? Gather what you have. If you don't have everything, just watch it, do your best, and if you feel that you want to add some props later, you can do that and go back and practice. We ready?
Ready?
Okay, good.
Have fun.
Before we get started, if you enjoy this video and find it helpful, please give it a like. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe and don't forget to click the bell so that you are notified when the new videos are uploaded. Now let's get started. All right, Juan Carlos, Adho Mukha Svanasana.
Adho.
All right, if you want to review the baby back bending, we did the shoulder jacket with the action of the shoulders, shoulder blades moving up. So the arms descending, pressing into the hands from the wrist, and then lifting up, and then moving the hips back, coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pinnacle of the pose at the hips, so lengthening back evenly, both sides. All right, walk into Uttanasana, walk your feet forward. Bring your fingertips out to the side, wide chest. And then balance the hips. So the hips come over the heels. You can feel the weight on the toes. Pressing the fingers down, lift the shoulders up. So start to activate the arms. From the fingers pressing down, lift up through the arms. Rotate the shoulders and lift up through the chest. Inner thighs are rolling back. Broaden the backs of the thighs. Kneecaps are lifted, moving into the socket. Extend the calf down to the heel and lift up. Good. Okay, so we'll now practice Ardha Vrksasana. Okay?
Great.
So first, Juan Carlos will measure his distance. He'll sit at the wall and measure where he's going to bring his hands, okay? So you can be in the center of the mat here. All right, so coming from Adho Mukha Svanasana, arms lengthening up, go into half Adho Mukha Svanasana, so it's closer than normal, right? And then he'll walk the feet up and use the feet. You can even go higher on the wall to get a little bit of lift. So when you go up, if it doesn't feel quite right, then you come down and adjust. And first, just go up with your feet, even higher. Press your toes and get that lift. So you get that openness through the chest and you don't have too much compression here. Activate your arms, get that rotation, pressing the hands, lift the hips up. And then from there, if you feel that you can start to bring your legs lower, walk the feet down. So you want to have the feet and the hips in line, but you've got to have a tremendous work of the thighs lifting up, the hips lifting up. So as you lift up, you still have that lightness through the arms. From the hips, press into the heels. Good. And then walk your feet down. Come into forward Virasana, arms long. And do you want to remeasure? Were your hands feeling about right?
Yeah.
So when the first one, you adjust, you sense what you feel, right? So now he wants to take his hands back a little bit. So the hands, the fingers, and the wrist is behind. So he's got a mark on the mat here at this line, okay? So it's a little bit of the hip, but mostly behind. So place the hands. Pressing and lifting. Good. So now he's straightening the legs, backs of the knees are opening, inner and outer knee. As he presses the hands down, lifts up through the shoulders, the tendency is to bring this front rib forward. So move the front rib back and balance it with the back ribs moving forward, the shoulder blades moving forward, and the front ribs moving back, opening the armpit area. So you're getting this nice lift here. Okay, pressing down, we're going to do Ekapada, which will be one leg lifted. So keeps pressing into the wall, keep lifting that thigh, lifting that outer hip, reaching up, stretch up through the ball of the foot. Good. Breathe. Soften your face. Relax. Let your head release down so the neck is long. Good. And then this leg, I'll show on the other side. I'll show on the other side. You can bring it down. So when he brings the leg up, this leg is turning from the outer hip, outer leg inward. So both thighs are facing one another. And lift up, press up through the ball of the foot, reach up, lift the shoulders, breathe, relax your face, release your head down away from the lift of the shoulders. Okay, and then coming down. Good, take a rest, forward Virasana. All right, so Juan Carlos will come up now and we'll use a chair just to kind of back it up to show a little bit easier version of going into it. So I'll bring the chair here. And he's going to face the wall.
Face the wall?
Yes,
okay.
Face the wall.
Back to the wall.
Yeah, back to the wall.
Okay.
And bring the feet on the chair. Right. So you won't be going up all the way, but you're learning the action for those of you that can't press up all the way. And you'll bring one leg up. As you press the feet down, lift up. So you can see this thigh needs to rotate in. And then he can move the feet a little bit closer to the edge, the foot closer to the edge, lift up. Good. Reaching up through the ball of the foot. Lift the shoulders, shoulder blades are lifting. Okay. And come down. Down. Reorganize with the arms and then lift the leg. Still rotating. Shoulders moving away from the wall. Armpit chest opening. Breathe. Release the head. Good. And then come down. Come into Uttanasana. So allowing the back of the head to move down. Take a few breaths there. All right, and then come up. So next we'll be practicing Ardha Pincha Mayurasana. So he'll show from the side. So we use the belt to keep the arms in line with the shoulders. And now he'll take his hands and his forearms on the floor. So his hands will go around the block and the wrists are pressing down, the forearms are pressing down. And then he'll come up into that Adho Mukha Svanasana, so lift your hips up. Good. Lifting the thighs, open the back of the thighs, and move the shoulders back away. So you're pressing the wrist down, pressing the forearm down, and getting that, from that resistance, lifting up. Take a few breaths there. Keep reaching back through the legs. Backs of the knees open. He can walk his feet in more and more as he can, bringing the chest back away from the block. Okay, and then come down. So we'll show at the wall. We'll do the same thing, same pose. Keep your strap. And if you have someone with you, or just to show the direction, I'm going to have him come into this, bringing his hands around that block. And I'll scoot down and bring my knees right around his shoulders. Many people are very tight and the shoulders are coming toward the wall. So my knees just help to guide him that he is moving the shoulders inward, shoulder blades inward, and he's lifting and walking his feet in as he can. So he's getting length here through the side trunk, legs are lifting, shoulders are held in place. So if you have tight shoulders, this is really good to be able to pinpoint where that tightness is. If you have a small child or a yoga buddy, you can have them help you with this. All right, and then coming down. All right, Juan Carlos, let's do this facing the wall. All right, I brought another block for you to widen the hand distance. So turn. She's got the strap on the, just above the elbow. So it's not on the elbow, it's above the elbow. He's organizing the hands to press the thumb down and the index finger, the forearm. So this is your base here, the forearm and the hand. So that's really moving down, not only with gravity, but with your intelligent action, moving the forearms down. And then away from that, you're lifting up. So come into that Adho Mukha Svanasana again, with the forearms down. All right. So now I'm going to get a couple of straps. I'm using ropes. And Matt, can we have you up here? So Matt is assisting us to show you the correct action of the shoulders. So we used the shoulder belt before. So now we're going to use the rope, and we'll take that right at the top of your shoulders, and we're going to simultaneously lift up while you press down. Okay? All right. So bring your hands down. And Matt, you can put the rope there. So have it right on the top of the shoulders, and we have to bend down a little bit so that we are holding close. Good. And get that lift. So Juan Carlos, are we even?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so he's lifting. I'm going to hold that, and then you can go up with this leg. So he's going to kick up. I'm getting out of the way. Matt's getting out of the way, and he'll come up. Bring his feet to the wall first. You can bend your knees. All right. Once his knees are bent, you can bring the tailbone in, the middle buttocks in. Good. Press the feet down. Now let's just bring the foot right onto the wrist and onto the forearm. That will give him a little bit more stability. All right. Now stretch your legs up. Good. Stretch the heels up the wall. Bring the feet together, toes together. Roll the inner thighs in, tailbone, middle buttocks in, lifting up. So are we lifting equally? Can you feel that? Yeah. Okay. So this is giving him this is the direction. The shoulders are lifting up while the forearms, the wrist is moving down. More? Lift, Matt, lift up. So it's good. He's become sensitive to, one shoulder was falling more than the other, so we weren't lifting equally. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Perfect. I'll buy more. So like, more.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's show this facing sideways.
Okay.
And so for most of you, you'll attempt at the wall. Actually, what I'd like you to do is go back to the wall and show kicking one leg up, hitting the wall, and then showing the other leg kicking up, hitting the wall. So for some of you, you may have a difficult time in coming up, or you need that action, so we'll just demonstrate working with walking in, and remember my knees were on his shoulders, so while he walks in with his feet, the shoulder blades are moving away from the wall. And he's going to kick just one leg up and not come up. Okay, so when he kicks that leg up, that lifted leg is straight, it's not bending. So that's going to be the fulcrum to bring you up. The other knee is bent, almost like a runner at the running gait. See, his knee is bent, it's giving him the momentum, and this leg goes up straight. So lifting up, that's it. Bring both feet there. And then try the other side. Just try a few times. Whoops, so he had a lot of power there. So you'll be able to judge, how much action, how much energy you're using to bring the legs up. Ultimately, you want to lift them up and then bring them together. Okay? So let's try it here so they can see from the side when you're balancing on your own. So showing from the beginning how to get into it, the direction, and if you can balance, you can start to balance away from the wall like he started to do, and then I'll show you here. So he's coming into it, the wrists are down, pressing into the index finger, and he'll lift up, find his balance. Good. Press into my fingers and lift up. As he presses the arms down, lifts the shoulders, thighs are rolling in. Okay, I'm going to let go. You keep pressing up, keep pressing up. Good. So you can see the shoulder action. Okay, so that's how you can practice. You can practice in those stages and using the wall for your balance, and then start to come away from the wall, and then when you can come away from the wall, you can do it in the center. Okay, well done. Thank you. All right, so now we're going to, are you ready for headstand?
Ready.
Sirsasana. So first we're going to set up, we'll show the hand position for Sirsasana, and we'll just do halfway. So just bring your hands here. So he's going to interlace his fingers. And he's going to be on the little finger side of the hand and the finger and the wrist here and the forearm. So those bones are on the floor. And he'll bring his fingers together, and then thumbs are kept open. Make a little bit more space, bring his forearms down. So here again, you're balancing on the forearms and you're balancing on the wrists. So this is a strong action downward. So he'll come into downward dog with the first, he'll bring the crown of the head right between. Okay. And then he'll come into dog. So he's, again, using the action of lifting the thighs up, lifting the hips up, using the forearms and the arms to lift up through the shoulders, so against that action. So not dropping the shoulders, remembering the shoulder jacket that we used earlier, that work. So lengthening up, lifting the hips. Now he's going to just lift one leg. Keep the toes of the right on the floor and lift up through the left. So as he lifts up, he's not going to go up, but just using that leg, that strength of the leg and that lightness that's created there to create lightness through the shoulders and the head. Okay? Coming down, reposition the toes, coming up. Remembering that this hip, you can see how this hip wants to turn out. So turning the outer hip, turning the outer thigh, and reaching up. He can walk his toes in just a bit. Closer. Now you can do this at the wall as well. Okay, coming down. So that way you can start to practice. Once you've had the work with the shoulders, you know the direction, you have the strength, you can start to practice like this so that you create that lightness, so you're not bringing all that weight onto your neck or your cervical area. And especially if you have any kind of neck issues, you don't want to really do that. You could use the chair as well. You could bring his legs onto the chair. So face the wall. So So taking it easy with headstand. You have to have a practice, a regular practice, and be good with your shoulder stand to be able to get the right actions first before you go putting pressure on your head and your neck. So again, the forearms are active, the thighs are active, the legs are active. This is where all of your standing poses come into play, that you've worked with your legs, the legs are strong, you're able to lift, you're able to lengthen, and you have all that intelligent action that you've learned over time through practicing. Okay? So now you can come down. Okay, so that's another way you can practice without going up. Now we're going to use chairs. So 2 chairs, you can turn that chair and put it over there. So this is safe for anyone, especially if you have any kind of neck injury, shoulder, any kind of shoulder problem that you don't want to be on your shoulders. So turn it this way. So I'm putting 2 blankets here. I have it on the mat. You can also turn the mat sideways, but I think this is enough for now. He's going to bring his head here. His shoulders will be here, his head will go down. So I want to have it close enough that he can bring his head in. He can always tilt the chair to bring the head in. And when he comes in, just make sure the blankets are over the edge of the chair. So this will support your shoulders. Okay. Head is down, and then I want you to bring your head further back so that you can feel the back body on the wall, okay? So your hands will help you. Just, oh, wait. So come up. So I didn't tell him. All right, so I put the chairs too close together, so there was no way he could put that beautiful head of his in there, okay? So when you go in, you have to kind of tilt the chair back, bring your head in. Good, and then bring the chair back, because you want it to be close enough so it's supporting the shoulders. And then walk your feet in. You'll use your hands to press into the chair. You can feel the back at the wall. You can bring your knee onto the chair, or if you can lift up, you can lift up. Good, and stretch the legs up. Okay, he's got his shoulders. You can release the arms. So you can put the arms wherever they feel comfortable, either like that or hanging. So the point is the neck is lengthening. There's no tension in the neck or the shoulders. And he's using the legs, that strong action of lifting up through the legs. He's brought his toes together, inner heels together, outer shins moving in, and reaching up. Press up through the ball of the foot. So with that action of the legs, he's able to release into the head, into the cervical area. Okay, so now there's some variations you could do here as well. You could bring your legs into Baddha Konasana. So his hips are supported at the wall. He can use his feet to press into the wall to bring the hips forward to get that action of that opening through the front groin. Good. And then he can bring his legs into Upavista Konasana as well. So depending how you're feeling, how long you want to stay in that pose, and what you want to work on. So this is nice to be able to stay here and do all the inversions, do all the variations on the inversions. Okay? So when he's coming out, he'll come right back to straight legs, and then he'll bring his hands. So his hands were, he was holding onto the chair rail, so he was supported. So either holding onto the chair rail, or you can bring your hands back here. You find out what feels safe and secure for you, and then you do that. Good. That was nice. Feel good? So nice. So nice for the neck.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're going to use one chair, and we'll do Setu Bandha. I'll put the chair here. And then you'll have 2 blankets. And 1 block. Yeah. So the way you'll come into this is to first bring your shoulders onto the end of the blankets, measuring so that you're about 1 thumb's length away. Your head will be on the mat. And then you're going to have this block, and he'll lift his hips up, and he's going to take the block underneath the hips. Once he's there, he's got a little bit of height. Now he can roll his shoulders under. So stretch your arms beyond the block. Get that rotation of the shoulders. Not only rotating, but tops of the shoulders moving toward the chair. Getting that lift of the chest. Extending the arms. Good, it's nice.
Very nice.
So with the legs lifted, they're supported. He can stay on this block. The block is right at the tailbone. So he's put the block this way, so the narrow edge, and that's going right here, right on the bone of the tailbone, in the sacrum area. Okay, so because this is a hard surface and the bone is hard, it feels very good. It helps to open this space here, open through the groin. And because he's lifted, he's in an inversion, so his heart is higher than his head. So it becomes very relaxing. It's relaxing not only for the body, but it's relaxing for the brain. And you could stay in this pose for a while. So enjoy.
So much.
Take a few more breaths. You can always build this up higher as well. You could have a bolster there, so you could have more of a height under the legs. So I'll just show you that. And then stretch your legs out. So that's nice too. So depending on how you're feeling, if you wanted to do full shoulder stand as your inversion, or you want to come into this more restorative Bandha, depending on your practice. So you have lots of options. Okay, so release your hands. Come down. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you all.
fun.
Enjoy your practice. Take care.